Welcome to Byte-Sized Tech. We're here to break down the biggest stories shaping, well, our very near future. Today, we are taking a peek just over the horizon at some incredible technology, from the phones in our pockets to the rockets reaching for the stars. All right, so here's what's on tap today. We've got a massive camera showdown, a phone that folds twice, internet from literally anywhere, the next generation of virtual reality, the AI wave that just keeps coming, and humanity's giant leap back to space. Let's get into it. So, we're kicking things off on a very familiar battleground, the smartphone camera. You know, it's this constant war for who can make the most perfect pocket-sized camera, and Apple and Samsung are right back at it, really pushing the limits of what these things can do.
To really see who's on top, Tom's Guide did the smart thing. They took the latest flagships out to the beach for a good old-fashioned video showdown. And this wasn't some sterile lab test. Nope. This was handheld, 4K at 30 frames per second. You know, the way you'd actually use it.
Okay, now what's really fascinating here is you can see two totally different philosophies at play. You've got Apple going all in on its software and making sure all its main lenses are high-res and consistent. Then you've got Samsung just throwing raw hardware at the problem, a monster 200-megapixel sensor and two separate telephoto lenses. They're both trying to get to the same place, just taking completely different roads. So, round one, stabilization. Just picture yourself walking down the beach, filming. The Galaxy S25 Ultra is just smoother. It does a much better job of eating up those little shakes from your footsteps. It's a subtle thing, but it's a definite win for Samsung right out of the gate. But hold on, the iPhone comes swinging right back. When you switch to the ultra-wide lens, the iPhone's footage is just crisper, you can see more definition. And then for vlogging, that front-facing camera pulls ahead too. A little more detail, and it handles that bright sunlight way better, so you get less of that annoying lens flare. And this right here is a perfect example of why optical zoom is so important. Sure, the S25 wins at exactly 3x zoom with its special lens for that, but the iPhone's 4x optical zoom gives it a better, cleaner starting point for everything beyond that. So at 4x, 8x, and even pushing it to 10x, the iPhone is just sharper. It gives it the edge. So the bottom line is pretty clear. For this specific test, a bright sunny day at the beach, Apple's approach totally paid off. It won 4 of the 6 categories, which means in these conditions, the iPhone 17 Pro is the video king. Okay, next up, we're shifting gears a little, because while some companies are busy perfecting the slab phones we all know, others are trying to dream up a completely new shape for them. I mean, think about it. The first foldable phones, like the Galaxy Z Fold, were a massive leap forward. But what if one fold just isn't enough screen for you? What's the next step? Well, get this. According to a whole bunch of reports, Samsung is getting ready to show us what's next. With a tri-fold device. Yeah, we're talking a phone with not one, but 2 hinges, so it can go from a normal phone to a massive tablet. And when you open this thing all the way up, the rumors say that screen is a huge 10 inches. I mean, just for comparison, the current Z Fold is around 8 inches. This is a device you can put in your pocket that opens up into something that's almost the size of a small laptop screen. Wild. So, while Samsung is trying to cram more screens into your backpack, Starlink is working on the other side of the problem, making sure you can actually use those screens, no matter where on Earth you are, even if you're miles from anywhere. And this is how they're doing it. The Starlink Mini. CNET just tested one out and showed how unbelievably simple it is. You literally take this little dish, which is about the size of a laptop, out of your bag, use an app to point it at the sky, plug it in, and you're online. The whole thing takes about 10 minutes. Okay, but is it fast? Well, in the field, the Mini was pulling down about 127 megabits per second. Now, that is more than fast enough for streaming HD video or taking a Zoom call from the middle of nowhere. Now, is it going to replace your super fast cable internet at home? No, but that's not the point. This is a game changer for being connected remotely. But of course, there are trade-offs. If you're someone who loves to camp, or travel in an RV, or just work from remote places, this thing is absolutely revolutionary. But you have to remember, you need a clear view of the sky, it uses a good bit of power, and that unlimited data plan, it's not cheap. All right, we've talked about screens you hold and internet that goes anywhere, so what's next? Well, how about screens you wear that take you to a totally different place? Let's talk about the latest rumors in the world of virtual reality. Okay, VR fans, this one is for you.
For years, people have been waiting and waiting for whatever comes after the Valve Index, which was a real benchmark for high-end PC VR. And it looks like that long, long wait might finally be almost over. Now, before you get too excited, you might want to brace your wallet. The rumors are pointing to a price tag for this new headset, codenamed Steam Frame, of around $1,200. So yeah, this is definitely aimed at the serious enthusiast crowd. And this isn't just an Index 2.0. The leaks suggest this is a huge pivot. We're talking a standalone wireless headset, no PC required, running the same OS as the Steam Deck. If the reports are true that it's already in mass production, this could be a major high-end competitor for the Meta Quest.
All right, now let's talk about the tidal wave that's really powering all this new hardware. I'm talking, of course, about the absolutely breakneck speed of development in artificial intelligence.
I mean, seriously, look at what happened in just the last week or so. You've got XAI trying to build AIs that can generate entire video game worlds. You've got Meta hiring away top researchers. And you have OpenAI turning ChatGPT into a platform with its own app store. It's an absolute race to build the next fundamental layer of technology, and it is changing every single day. And it's not all just about these huge companies. People are figuring out really clever ways to use this stuff right now. Here's a cool one. You combine a free voice tool called Whisper Flow with the chatbot Claude. You just start talking, and Whisper writes down and cleans up what you're saying in real time, and Claude actually talks back, turning your brain dump into a real conversation. It's like having an AI brainstorming buddy. And for our last story, we're going to go from the intelligence we're building inside our computers to the raw human ambition that's pushing us and our machines to the final frontier. SpaceX is getting ready for its next Starship flight, and it is just impossible to overstate the scale of this thing. The rocket stands 400 feet tall. 400 feet! It is by far the most powerful rocket humanity has ever built. And this flight plan just shows you how methodical this all is. Every single part of this hour-long trip is a specific test. They're going to try to land the booster, they're going to drop off some dummy satellites, and they're even going to try re-entering the atmosphere with some heat tiles missing on purpose, just to see what happens. It's all about pushing the envelope and getting that data. And you got to understand, this is so much more than just a test flight for SpaceX. NASA is counting on Starship. The entire Artemis program, the plan to get humans back on the moon, relies on this exact rocket to be the lander that actually takes astronauts down to the lunar surface. The stakes are huge. So when you look at all of this, phones that fold in crazy new ways, AI that we can talk to, and rockets that can take us to other planets, it really leaves you with one big question, right? Which one of these things do you think is going to be the one that really defines the next 10 years? Let us know what you think. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.